Hello Eternum and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the Spice Lords of Hooded Outcasts hold the line and maintain control of the flow of spice. Quickly to the weather, and unbelievably it's going to be a beautiful morning all day long until evening. Cold fronts will push in from the north, bringing a light chance of invasion through the central corridor. 6 submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it's cardboard. Up first, the Covenant forces of Tempest's Fury assault the Syndicate forces of Washed Millennials for the northernmost region of Morningdale. The forces of Tempest's Fury regroup and immediately request a rematch for their most recent loss here 4 days ago. Request accepted by the forces of Washed Millennials, who have begun adding bathhouse improvements to the ongoing Canal District project. More on that story as it develops. Then, the Marauders of Buzzard Tony and the Boys attack the Syndicate forces of Nameless for control of the crown of Monarch's Bluff. Buzzard Tony and the Boys have gathered in the assault tent and are partying it up in preparation for tonight's event. For Nameless, this will be their second defense of the crown. How will they fare this time against a group of marauders? Meanwhile, the Syndicate forces of Secrets declare war against the Covenant forces of Milked Regime for control of the Bamboo Forest Preserves and Medicinal Hot Springs of Ebonscale. In the great house fight of the night, Secrets return to the hot springs and assert their right to a rematch. Milked Regime maintain their right of faction first purchase, citing the rightful heirs to the region as those of Lost Kingdom descent. Later, the Syndicate forces of Camelus assail the Marauders of Landlord for control of the master fishing port town of Reekwater. The newcomers of Camelus make their first attempt to secure land on the island deep in the swamps. Good thing they didn't bring their camels. For landlords, maintaining control of the fishing hotspots around the hamlet, as well as rapid access to Lazarus, are still a priority. They're sure to give their all tonight. In one nightcap, the Syndicate forces of Primordius Virtue assault the Covenant forces of Lost Templar for the primary oil reserves of Weaver's Fen. Primordius Virtue return to the peat moss fields of the Fen in their attempt to reclaim it, as they had last winter. Lost Templar have only faced Primordius while attacking, and they did not win. But now they have the high ground. Let the fight begin. In the other closer, the Covenant forces of Hero assail the Syndicate forces of Secrets for the secondary oil reserves of Cutlass Keys. The former Syndicate forces of Hero have turned to the Spark, and their first holy conquest is to be against the Syndicate. Were the forces of Secrets prepared for this dramatic change in the allegiance of Hero? Are they simply prepared for anyone, not them, to attack? We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.